Greens guys, it's Splash Rash. Back again with another video. Hope you guys are all well. Most of this video may mainly be low sec stuff. There's a little bit of null sec where I'm trying to make battle cruisers work for me. Sort of hit or miss. But this first fight is against Dieter here, a good friend of mine. My nemesis from the New Year video, and it's funny because that was also his new nemesis. You'll see that sort of freeze there. That's just my computer. That isn't anything on your side. It's just my computer being slow in that fight, just like stuttering, which is really troubling. Cause I knew this was gonna be quite a close fight. All the fights I have against Dieter are always quite down to the wire. So he's a small ANSI medium shield booster. Medium ANSI booster, you know. Talwaring, I'm the buffer and small ANSI. We do so eke out the win in this, but I'll be in it being pretty close. So GF to Dieter, my man. And then get this neat little fight against a Slicer. Due to the fact that we have so much tank, and that Javelin can sort of project out to dudes orbiting out like this, especially if they're chasing us. See, I get an occasional little hit here, and I'm aligned out either thinking escape at this point or just tanks. The thing about Slicers is they have a really bad like capacitor lifespan, so if he's constantly running his MWD and forcing them to use his small ANSI, and he's also using his guns, he's going to cap out eventually, and we have a lot of tanks, so I'm just waiting for that to happen. Either he escapes or I can potentially escape, but we got that kill, so GF to that Slicer pilot. I have a couple of nice fights against Choristers here. This is a bit of a kerfuffle. I was not sure if he was going to aggress me here on the gate. He does. I'm like, oh god. I think I was in mid-reload. I'm going to orbit him close, try and get underneath his beams somewhat. And then orbit. I was also like ad panicking and hit record, so this is all not completely optimal. Once I get to this 500 orbit, you'll notice he starts to get grazing hits, and he's getting less and less damage on us. He's still getting an occasional little hit, most of them being grazings, and we do win that one. So GF there to Zenzia? Okay, this fight's against another good friend of mine, Fef. We were in Schnecht at the same time for a bit, and we're quite friendly then. So I want to orbit him 500, like all Choristers. This Chorister ended up being MWD Scram. Web, sorry. MWD Web. But you'll see how close it is. The like pure DPS Choristers are always a really tough fight, and you'll see this is no exception. I'm trying to get my small anti charges off, but just because of the huge DPS, he's just nuking through those. There's one volley difference. So GF theft there. That was a pretty nice bump field. I hate myself for this. This wolf ends up being arty. And I had Scram, then I ended up pulling myself out of his range, and then he was able to break range and MWD away. I was expecting autocannons for some reason. Should have just kept on ramming. I believe we would have held Scram. And we've got a kill here, but I just, like, once I got to Scram, I was like, oh wait, he must be autos since I caught him. And then pulled out and he escaped. But GF to that wolf pilot. Okay, I was hoping for this to be a brawling hookbill. It's not brawling hookbill. He's long point, you know, weird light missile hookbill. And I believe he might have been snaked in this instance. He was also running a faction long point, I noticed, because he kept on going past 24k, and he still had it enough as to where I was thinking he couldn't have been heated. So I was like, oh, good, this is fun. But I've also done stuff like this before, so it's cool, you know. It's a bit of karma for when I've been a bad person with, like, light missile hookbills. Snakes and all that stuff it's not a good thing to be on the receiving end, so I'm using Javelin here to try and get an occasional little hit, maybe force him off, and keep on changing my lines, because there's no way I'm going to what's called slingshot this dude. I'm just trying to break his long point range. I sometimes get to like 25 or so, but it's just not happening. And I'm just admitting my fate, you know, Cap's gone, I'm going to die at this point. It's not a good death, but nevertheless, GF to this dude. But revenge feels so good. So I'm in a dual web AB breacher, and I see that he's still kicking about, so I'm just chilling my novice hoping that he breaches into me. Even knowing that he's probably snaked here, I have a fairly high chance I'm be able to catch him before he pulls range. It could be tight, but I need ram him, get my dual webs on him. And if I catch him, he gets to like 9k there, very close. I was a bit late in one of those webs, which could have been a like catastrophe. But since I catch him here, it's pretty much GG. Light missiles don't do a lot of damage, and the light missile hookbill isn't that tanky. So it was indeed a faction long point. So a nice little drop here in this low sec event, where most of the loot's dropping. About 95% of stuff drops. It's not always 100%, but it's almost. It's usually 95 or like 100%, right? Sometimes like one thing won't be there. So I am making bang this event, which is very nice. Okay, this is a really nice 1v1 against this Meryl. And this is a dual rep breacher, not the dual web breacher. Now, I'm just chilling. I set my default orbit to what's that, about 6k or something. expecting to be blasters, but he ends up being rails. Since he has a single web, we should be faster than him, so I set my orbit to 500, trying to get underneath those. Since he's pulled about 10k here, it's going to take us a while to get into that short orbit, where we can make a little bit of damage. So whilst I'm coming in here, I'm going to take a lot of damage here, but once I get close, fairly confident I can tank this. It's not going to be a problem to tank a real Merlin in this breacher. Just trying to get those small anti charges off the armor reps before we get those medium reps, right? We just want to use those medium reps to cover our unbonused small armor reps, and then just run them both when I feel that stuff's getting a bit shaky. So yeah, he seems really, really fast actually. Now that I'm watching this, we're not getting into a tight orbit as quickly as what I would expect. This perhaps a bit manually piloting should have maybe came into play here, but no, I was fairly confident I'm going to tank and kill this dude anyway. I have explosive loaded, which isn't the correct ammo to be using against that particular Merlin, but I believe usually explosive is the safer play to shoot against Merlins, because mostly if it's like a shield Merlin, it's only going to have one web, and you'll have range control, and if it's the dual web armor one, you don't have range control, and that's where you want explosive. That's kind of my thinking here. So I see this comet is blaster, and I want to keep him at AK. Most comets are just going to be a hard time. I just thought I'd try my luck here. Hope that maybe it's MWD or a bad pilot. But this one ends up, I think, being MWD, because I keep him at 7.5k here, and I'm able to keep range. Which you shouldn't really be able to do against another AB webs. Well, AB web scram comics are just so fast. I'm chilling at 5.5k here. I'm fairly confident I'm going to kill this guy. But look at the state of his tank, man. It's huge. So I'm like, oh god, it's going to take quite some time. I'm using faction missiles here with the single web one. You also want to use faction missiles with a single web against, like, frigates, right? The dual web breacher can use rage. So I notice the worms in D-scan here, and I make a fatal error here. I'm looking for somewhere to align out to. And I just can't find a good align. But what ends up happening is, whilst I'm trying to line out here, I believe I'm getting pulled into his null range. And it's just hurting, man. The worms came in at this point. I'm not pulling range here. As quickly as what I would hope. Or, I don't know, maybe we are pulling range from that comet. Okay, so he wasn't AB. But once the worm's in here, I'm in his null range, we're dead. So GF to those guys. Okay, speaking of comets, this is another fight against a comet here. I'm in a dual web breacher, which usually has a lot of range control against certain comets. And this is actually a dual web blaster comet. You'll see that I try and line out here or look to warp off, but I notice I'm pulling range. I'm like, wait, okay, let's just chill around here. So I'm really surprised by this. Comets are really fast, and I'm not running any speed implants or whatever, so I'm really surprised I'm pulling range from this guy. I keep him 7.5k, huge error. I'm using ranged missiles though. Those only have 8.5k, so I'm always dead worried that I'm not going to apply with them, right? Like, if he's coming in towards us, they do have extended range, but I'm scared that he pulls off and we're not going to do range. So what I should have done is use faction missiles here and pulled myself like 8k or something, so I'm completely out of his null range. I shouldn't have been so committed to rage missiles, which is a huge mistake here, and what actually ends up losing is the fight. So even at 7.5k, that's about the fall off range of null. You're still getting occasional grazing. That on top of the free drones, we're still taking massive damage. So that's still a really nice fight. Pretty close. But big mistake on my part. Should have used faction here. That was on me, and we could have had that. So that's Atron. Same tactic as that, what do you call it, comet. Orbiting him at 7k this time. Using rage missiles. We were playing completely fine with the dual webs. He is using null though, which is the right ammo to be using in this instance. So we're taking a little bit of damage, but at 7k, we're in quite a bit far fall off, so we aren't taking like huge amounts of damage. And I'm fairly confident I've got this against this Atron, just because we have range control and we're doing like 200 DPS, which is pretty gnarly. All pretty much fully applied. So GF to that Atron pilot. Okay, this is his first attempt at trying to do some BC things in null. So I see the two Kikis and Saber, and I'm like, alright, cool, this looks like a nice little fight. Probably expecting a little bit more. Maybe a couple cruisers or something, you know, that'd be nice. You know, malediction's coming. Okay, that's cool, that's cool. We can deal with that. Get on top of this Kiki. Notice he's pulling a range from us. Oh, cool. So these are 10mm Kikis already. Fantastic. So this dude starts pulling range from me. I'm like, sweet. I'm still sort of playing because they fall off range and our guns. But I know that I'm not going to be able to lock in these down. Another mistake on my part. I should kill the dude who is scramming us. A lot quicker than what I did. More Kikis, like, oh, fantastic. Logi. Oh, this is going to be a brilliant time. So yeah, I should really go on a saber, like, as soon as, man. But as you can probably see the writings on the wall here, and we don't have a fun time here. I'm just hoping that maybe I can kill the saber. The Karens don't notice that he's getting DPS'd and don't rip him or something. But yeah, the Kiki, like, that's a lot of DPS, man. But I'm curious to see how much I can spool up to. But certainly doesn't need to spool up long before we are dead. So I want to say GF. I guess it's a GF. You gotta shoot something, which is what I want to do. But yeah. Okay, so we actually get a good fight here, which is fantastic. This is a Cyclone. A Osprey Navy aggressive here. I'm like, alright, cool, let's go for this. Or Osprey Navy. Alright, cool. Oh, nice. Couple of Osprey Navies. That's actually fine to fight, man. A couple cruisers like this is pretty much what BC's designed to fight. So yeah, I'm on this Osprey Navy. I have faction missiles loaded. ECM drones are a nightmare, man. I'm getting this guy low, you know, I'm doing the prepping things. I don't have my boosters. They ran out from a previous engagement that resulted in nothing good. So it's a shame I don't have them in this instance. That Osprey Navy gets away. I am very not pleased. So I try and get on top of one of these other Osprey Navies. This is not happening, man. These guys are a lot faster than I'm rocking just like a pure DPS like tank fit. And I've noticed like a real cool video from Satonia and a few other people rocking Cyclones with like dual nanos and stuff, which are really fast stuff, so they might be more interesting to fly. This is more like tanky and like triple ballistic control, you know, CPU and DCU, no lows. And then resist strikes and another T2 damage rig in our rigs. This is mostly just like pure DPS. It might have been better served with like a rigger or something for more application, but I'm always pleased when the full like rig meters fill, if you know what I mean. Which you can only really do with a T2 damage and then 2 resist rigs, you know. So I'm de-aggressing at this point because I know I can't catch them, so I want to try and get another one on the other side or something. This time they stop shooting me, which is great. It gives me time to, like, you know, reload our thing or XLASB, get, you know, repair a bit of heat. Once they start doing a bit more, put more DPS on us, I jump back through because I don't want to start using my XLASB charges on this side, because I don't really plan on fighting on that side. So this Osprey Navy, I try and catch him here, but unfortunately he just jumps back through, which is kind of boring. I try and catch this other Osprey Navy, but as Osprey Navies are fast and light missiles and kitey, I can't really catch them. So I'm looking at just like de-aggressing it back on the other side again. So I'm like, good. Yeah, the dual nano cyclone would have probably done work here, but you'll soon see that with the dual nanos, they take a lot of your hull away. So that's pivotal in this fight. You'll see in this next side of this fight. So okay, I've got everyone reloaded. I'm reloading my XLSB before I go back through for some form of fight. Hope I can like catch one of these guys and actually kill them. Okay, ECM, that's sort of the plan here. This dude's just like keep me pointing to this side so I can't escape. And you just keep it. I don't know if this guy's burned out his MWT, but this comes into play later on, which is perfect for me. So okay, 3 Osprey Navies this side. I'm gonna ram one. Hopefully he aggresses me and I can get on top of him. He does aggress me. I have rage missiles loaded at this point. And I burned my adaptive. That was huge. Another big mistake in this video. So the rage are playing perfectly, and he just can't handle the DPS. He doesn't get all his XLASB charges off, and I nuke him. I'm hoping to catch one of these other dudes before they do weird things, but I just can't catch them. I'm almost on reload. I'm just going to use that XL. Oh, I didn't! I should have I thought I'd maybe have another more capacitor to get another XLSB charge off, but I want to de-aggress. Get to the other side here, man. Maybe get another reload or something. You'll notice the hull though, right? If I had the dual nanos here, I think I would have died before I got to the other side. So yeah, pros and cons to each fit, right? But I guess if we had the dual nano fit, we'd have been able to catch more of them. So I don't know, you know, different things. Thankfully though, because they're rapid lights, right? They're probably on reload at this point, so that's why they probably can't kill me. So I jump this point. There's one more Osprey Navy this side. Now I'm looking to try and escape at this point. He does end up long pointing me here, and I'm like, shit, you know. So but I reapproach great, and I notice his speed here. He's at 400. I'm like, wait, I can just MWD away from this dude, and escape, which is exactly what we end up doing. So GF to those Osprey Navy guys, because that was a great little fight. That I then give a Cyclone back home is safe, got in a Stabber fleet. See this Gila, hope for a nice little NPC kill. He scrams, I'm like, okay, wait, defensive mechanism. Probably not bait. He's got really low buffer. Loki comes and I'm like, but I decided I'll just stick on this Gila. See if I can kill him, maybe tank the Loki in itself. Gila's just insane DPS I applied. Lokis are Lokis. I was kind of foolish, like, not trying to escape here, but I was like, alright, let's just try and kill the Gila. We don't kill the Gila and we die to bait, which kind of sucks. More stuff comes in. We could have actually got a nice little fight here, but another Gila. Maybe I should switch to that Punisher and killed it. Nevertheless, though, I've liked CGF. Dude, this one is getting, like, really long, so I'm going to try to speed up some of these fights. This is a Talwaring against a Wolf here. This is an Auto Wolf. I'm trying to keep him at orbit at 8k here. We've got range control because he's an MWD Wolf here. Jesus, we have like a lot of content. So yeah, he's not applying fully to me. I've got a lot of tank here. My missiles are applying perfectly. Good, basically going into his resist hole. Really nice fight against this wolf. We take it. GF, my man. Okay, for our last tower fight of this video is against an Algos. The rest of the fights in this will be Vigil Fleet and Wolf. So I orbit 500 here, seeing that he's a Rails. Trying to get underneath them somewhat. 75 millimeters. Gonna be quite hard to get underneath because they have really good tracking. But we do end up taking it. Albeit being relatively close. Okay, no, wait, I lie. We actually died at Kiki. I ram him here, hoping that might be some form of armor fit. I maybe should have went for Molnir missiles. Might have been able to kill him here if he hadn't plugged that hole. But just once he gets through that shield buffer, man, you see the huge DPS that the Kiki does. And even though he's like kitey fit, we'd still go down. Okay, the Vigil used to be my staple, and it felt good, like, cracking it back out for a little bit. So what I was going to do is keep this dude at 13k with Javelin. He has a Ballistic TD, which kind of throws me off a little bit. Had he not had that, we'd been able to, like, keep out of his range. But I believe I checked, and it was, like, kind of to, like, 13 or 14. So even whilst keeping him at 13k here, even with the Ballistic TD, since he's running into us, supposed to run away, our missiles are still sort of hitting. I burn out Web, which is another mistake. Mistakes all this fight, man. We have had a lot of fights, so I guess there's bound to be a couple of mistakes here. Then I just ram up, since I see that he's pretty low, and we've got a small anti on the go, so we end up taking that against that hook bill. So I was fighting this, that Punisher for quite some time, but it seemed to be bait for this Daredevil, sorry. So what I want to do is this Daredevil to run after me, get my 2 webs on him, just plink away at him with Javelin. This is a bit of a risk though. Had this been like a rail DD, I'd been for like a World of Hurt. But since he was Blaster, this is perfect for me. I play this pretty poorly though. Let him like leave long point and web range quite a few times. But I still play quite well. I'm just really scared of that web getting on me, because once that 90% web's on me, it's a bad time for me. But thankfully, he's quite a blind fit actually. He has a blind AB and Ripper, not a web. He has a T1 web. But GF to that DD pilot. I don't get the, the Punisher key, ends up warping off. Here we have against a Korax. This can actually be a really hard fight, but I'm going to keep him orbiting at 14k using Javelin missiles. Again, try and keep out his range, and faction missiles at this range probably won't apply to me either, since I'm orbiting. He'll be chasing after me. If he switches to Javelin, though, which he does, it really starts to hurt. So, orbit at 15k, I'm hoping without a web and just like, or speed, because I'm not running any speed implants, but I'm using a A-type AB. So we're going really fast here, so hoping to make some damage in that way. I believe I'm either using a Pyrolance Dose 2 here or an Overclocker. I think this might be the time when I'm using Overclocker Dose 2 just for extra speed. This is against a little gang here. I noticed Incursus has at least a Harpy with him. So I'm hoping to nuke this guy and then pull in range from the Harpy. What I didn't know is, I was expecting this Incursus to tank for a little bit. I didn't know he had a Tristan with him. This Tristan nearly really throws this banner in the works here. I was hoping to basically nuke that Incursus a lot faster than what I did. He's tanking for quite a while, man. He's that dual rep Incursus, and I'm like, oh no, this is starting to get a bit spicy here. I stay on him a bit too long for my liking, but I'm committed at this point. I want to try and kill this Incursus. Tristan comes in and he ends up being one of his new Tristans. There's the Harpy that I was expecting. Had it just been this Incursus, killed the Incursus and then pulled range out of the Blaster Harpy's range, it would have been sort of fine. But once that Tristan gets on top of me and newts on me, I'm like, oh god! I line out and try and get out here. I do thankfully kill that Incursus. Now I'm just trying to escape here. Got it AB heated. And we escape! So GF to those lads. It's a good fight against our friend here, Mr. Onage, who ends up being the dual web AB Arty Thrasher. I know he has Arties. I want to orbit 500 here. I was totally expecting Gunner if he's gun super easy, even though he's dual web AB. He misses his first shot. So I'm like, okay, I'm close now. I'm pretty much got this. And then what ends up happening is hits start landing. I'm like, what? No! You know? Artifactors are always so spicy, man, because you're just waiting for that huge volley to arrive. I'm in hull at this point. I'm just expecting this orbit to do its thing. But I notice he's getting occasional like grazing hit and big hits, and I need to take over the wheel. And then just like try and double click around from him because the automated orbit isn't working for me, and I'm like, oh god. I also have javelin loaded, which is a bad call. I should win with faction or rage. So yeah, it's super close, and I'm just waiting to die here from the next volley, but we do end up taking it, so GF bonus there. Always expecting a good fight off of yourself. And for our last fight, this Dragoon, I ram him here, and I'm hoping that, because I actually know what this guy's fit is, because I've fought him once before. Scram and Nos on him. I'm like, alright, this is going to be a fun fight. Check out the notifications as to what Nos's and mutes he's using. And thank goodness for this event, by the way. This is like a 400 mil Dragoon. So I know he's MWD fit, and I'm got Hail Nigo. So he's also dual rip, but he can't handle the Hail DPS here. And since we have the Nos, we're able to keep our Scram on him. So I'm just like, okay, cool. It's still going to be quite a hard fight, but I'm fairly confident I can take this. Get yourself a little payday. So yeah, it's getting close. We do end up taking it, and we get 300 mil worth of loot, which is amazing. So GF to that Dragoon pilot, and GF to everyone involved there in all those fights. Guys, I'm so sorry that video was so long. I didn't realize actually how much content I was getting. Just now, Eve is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like, there's people null going crazy. Low sex, this event. It's amazing. It's sad the reason for there being so many people in Eve, but it's cool seeing all these people out and about in Eve. You know, getting quality fights. You know, Amaki's absolutely buzzing. PL's moved in for some reason, trying to get a bad title, Low Set Kings or whatever. So, reference got well. I hope you guys are all good in this very confusing and weird time. Sorry again for the long video. Maybe we should have sped up some more of those fights or something. I don't know. I had a good time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, my dudes. Yeah, okay. Stay safe, boys. Yeah, take care.